That's not cool. Well, when we're creative, when we get together and we give all credit to God and want less credit for ourselves. And usually the person that does that ends up getting the most credit. Moses, Joseph, Jonah, Job, Daniel, David, poor Francesca. No, they didn't exist. David did exist. He was a real human being. David of Israel. Yeah. He has a line that comes through, and he had Jesus, the one that you said that they have evidence that he might have existed. Yeah, his uncle was David, and David's uncle was Moses. And before that. Yeah. No, lady, you can't just, yeah. The Beowulf stuff is very similar to a lot of biblical stories, but it just might have been embellished. But there very well might have been a Hrothgar and a Beowulf, but they just embellished and added some, yeah. Yeah, there's a lady that was a powerful queen, kind of very seductive, and she had a child of him, and he grows up and he's deformed, but he's a badass, and but he's not a monster. He's just a human being, but they behave like monsters. It's yeah, and then there's the other things and stuff with they just they dragons and this and that, and it's just embellished stories or they take away, and maybe this stuff really happened, like Middle Earth. They were just killed off different. Have we found the? No, like that one guy, the dinosaurs and the human beings walking around. Well, you can find footprints in a sedimentary riverbed that are of similar dating because of stuff washing away, being in the same place, but you can't carbon date a footprint, So he was saying this stuff on the pad, Poor Dave. Because I'm sitting there. He's a very intelligent guy with computers and stuff that he learns and remembers and all that stuff. Same like Peter Faber. They're very intelligent at memories and putting that and remembering things that other people taught them. But their analysis skills are not as good as mine, And like when Peter Faber made fun of me for shorting out that radio because they put a thing on the radios now that short them out to stop thieves. That never would have occurred to me. I'm not a thief. Yeah, that's just fucking stupid. And he'd sit there, yeah, you got to get the whole new, same with the VCRs and the TVs now. As soon as it goes, you just have to replace the whole unit. Holy shit, that's wasteful. That's just disgusting. Well, yeah, you got to, and he's like, you don't figure this out yet, that they're complete fucking morons. God, no, I haven't figured that out yet. It would have never crossed my mind. You could sit there and figure out which one, and the wires weren't the same color. They were color-coded where you do this thing, you do it right, so you wouldn't have to replace the fuse on the old stereos. If you hit the thing on there, I thought, that's okay, let's pop this, put in the new fuse, and my stereo's up and running. I had put in stereos before, so it was no problem to me. These new stereos fried my whole radio. $90, right out the door. Fuck! Yeah, it's disposable diaperdom. It's just a useless piece of circuits and plastic, and technically it is, but it's not. It's part of the whatever. Since usually people will take it and set it because it's a piece of mechanism. Maybe they could find a way to fix it. They put it in their garage, and it's a monitoring system, another part of the monitoring system. That's why they made them so you have to. That's why, because people have those computers all piled up out in there. Better monitoring, all the better to monitor you. That old computer, put it in this room. Okay, I'm going to go off, and where are we going to go? Where are we going to go talk about the plans that we have in the garage with all the old computers in there, with battery systems that can go past, it can charge, and they only have to, it had cold to charge it, yeah, or they have battery operating systems like with the ones when you turn on the lights for your old calculators. You turn the light on, or they can feed off the energy that you produce from your own body to reactivate the system. And we don't have technology like that. No, you don't. The bankers do. God, guys, I mean, come on. We watched that movie. No, on Transformers it says nobody has technology like that. None of you guys do. But the U.S. military does. And the government does. Not so much the government, the people that run the government. Yeah. Catch up. You keeping up? All right. How you doing? Oh, they're always way ahead of you. How do you think they stay in power? always keeping ahead of the race to extort you, keep you stupid. And then, yeah, now they're like, oh man, we almost fucked up. Well, we need your help. Hi, Ralph, are you the Messiah? I believe so. You need my help. Okay, come on, Neil, save us from ourselves. Save yourself from yourself. Let me help you. Come on, let's do this. If the you do, I was not. No, you got. God dang it! Before I technically no. When you smiled in that video, you have a great smile. You have wonderful teeth. I was not. I do pick you apart. You're gonna do the same to me. Yeah, yes, you are. Oh my God, look at him. You'd think he'd be hotter. Yeah. I'm sorry. No, you're like the hottest woman I've. No, I can't say that. Well, to me, you're the hottest woman I've ever telekinesed with. No offense, Nicole, you're pretty. Alicia's, that was an accident. I didn't mean to do that, dude. That's not. I know. I'm sorry about your wife and all, man. I'm sorry. She's a mommy. I know. How do you think I feel about it? It's not my fault. It's through the computer networking and other people and thoughts and yeah. Patrick like that. Well, she's hot. She's a good singer. No, they wouldn't let me find any information on it. I went and it said something about a husband and kids. And I'm like, well, where is it? I couldn't. No. And then finally, boom, after I made a complete fool of myself, oh, look, there's pictures of her babies at the New York Knicks game with her husband. Fucking assholes. Well, you're supposed to be such a telekinetic. Well, I started thinking that. I was like, go look her up. What's going on here? This doesn't seem right. Yeah, you guys they're complete fucking assholes. We want to make them look bad. Well, you're doing a great job of making yourself look like complete fucking information management assholes. Especially when I go to look it up online and I can't find it. It was hilarious with Andrew Womack. When I went to go find his birthday, right, to see if it correlated close to being with Hitler, and it did. I could not find anything on Wikipedia to give me that man's birthday. Oh God, no. I was not going to be able to put out a video that said, Andrew Womack is the similitude of Adolf Hitler. He was freaking, take this off, take that off. And he went through with all his money, just taking all the information. I couldn't find shit on Andrew Womack. Yeah. So then when I made the video, it's like, no, you can't find his birth date on this, on that. No, I can't find his birth date online anywhere. It's like he doesn't exist. So funny. Well, it's goddamn, man, Michael Aquino is a sick fuck. I was laughing like, God, you really are in bed with a sick asshole. Now, he's the one that's more like Hitler. You're one of his henchmen. Look at you. Go back and find yourself. You'll probably find your similitude of yourself on one of those videos where they show all the Nazis running around having their little parties, doing the little things where they're acting like regular human beings when they weren't out exterminating Jews and killing Poles. And taking over and extorting French people. Yeah, I know Georgiev, man. No, there was less prostitution, less this. That's because they killed them all off or were fucking your, yeah. Yeah, the German officers. Well, you would come and say, did you ever see Farewell, My Concubine? And he went and he performed for the enemy and da-da-da-da, all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, if you didn't, they were the ones that basically kept you. He went to go perform for the Japanese to keep them from killing his friend. Yeah. And then their own people turn around and do the same damn thing all over again. Freaking assholes. God, everybody judges. It's like, well, why don't you? And then these girls will come and entertain us to keep us from killing their family. Yeah, to subjugate them. It's a show of, we are fucking your daughters, and they like it. We came in, we took over your village. And it's a show of, yeah. And not all Germans are like this. No, there's some very good Germans. Oskar Schindler's not this real anomaly. No one wanted to do it. They just put in such a horrible situation. That professor, he was Polish. I forget his name. He was one of my favorite professors. It was at Mesa Community College. And he was a history, I want to say, God, it was almost like a Kilgore type. He was a really cool professor. But he talked about Poles, and he said, he told us the story, reinforced what my dad told me. He said they're stuck in between Germany and Russia, and they've got great, hard-to-defend open farmland in between these two great powers. And they just get the shit kicked out of them on both sides all the time. And then, so they started using political things to not show sympathy towards the Poles by making it seem like those stupid Polacks. It's like, yeah, we are dumb. Why did we settle here between these two assholes? Funny. But because they had to, it's very hard to defend, but very good farmland. Excellent farmland. It would be basically like this. Okay. If Colorado fought with Missouri or whatever, I don't know. I don't know which states in between, Kansas, I guess, or, those dumb fuckers in Kansas. Because they'd always be fighting in between. The poor people in Kansas would be cut in the middle of it. It's like, fuck, it sucks to live in Kansas, man. Fuckers in Colorado and Missouri are assholes. Or wherever between. My geography is nothing but yeah, just like that. You know what I mean? Because they had more trees and mountains. Those are the Rocky Mountains. That's what I was saying. John Denver's full of shit, man. They ended up in Nebraska. But yeah, so okay. But in America, we've become more civilized, and we're not warring between Colorado and Missouri and yada, 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 yada. So it's just like that. It's tribalizations, sexualizations. People talk about they're never going to stop fighting. Yeah, they will. I'll come and verbally kick their ass and tell them what a bunch of frickin' morons they're. I'm descended from their apostles, messiahs, and prophets. And I can prove it to them. And then I'll prove to them that they're being complete freaking morons, and I'll publicly embarrass them, and they will stop. Now, you guys they'll always be fighting because there's these constant warring factions. Now get the fuck off, or I'm going to kick your ass. I just did. Okay, quit. You get up and you make up and you be good right now. No, what are we talking about? This is not how we worship Allah. I will show you, and I will prove it mathematically. I will take your mom and whip him in the streets verbally until he submits to intelligence. Why? Because I'm kind of like that. I'm the one they see as more like the passionate one. I'll toss your money-making table on its head, whoop your ass, and you will treat all the women with the same dignity and respect that Solomon and David did. He had that. He had that much because there were men like you where the women would seek shelter from and had to be a wife to David or Solomon. So would you have me sleep with all your daughters and all your so-called wives so they could sleep with a real man? You better walk like me tomorrow, or you will never have sex with another man again. You might as well get to know your goat real well. Man? Yeah, man. I know how some of you work. You're blaspheming you? You're not God Almighty, and you sure don't teach how to take care of God's children, right? You will sit down and submit, and you will be a new man tomorrow. Or you won't be fit to walk the streets with the goats. I'm a badass. Thanks, baby. I didn't mean to call it that. That was disrespectful. I'm sorry, ma'am, lady. Sorry. It was a knee-jerk reaction thing. I felt that way. I'm sorry. I apologize. I do that with her. I don't mean to. I'm not smoke signal. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to burn down your house and kick your ass. Start all over. Okay. Yeah. Some children are like fire, and some children are like pillars of ash, and some children burn everything they touch, and some children just fall into ash when you touch them. Go watch it, Smoke Signals. Real good movie. They might have some way to translate it into Arabic or Farsi. Okay? Ralph, what? Man, when I get going, don't get in my way. I have a world to help save, and I don't have time to sit around and discuss it in committee. And I don't have time to ask if it's all right with you when you've been discussing it in committee for 4,000 plus years. And then your committees can only come up with the fact that we get destructive mechanisms to destroy our environment and resources and eliminate our best resources, our human beings. And you see it as an acceptable form of population control. Unacceptable, it's perpetual, and it's perpetual insanity and stupidity. I don't have time to wait for you to catch up. I'm here to kick your ass and catch you up, and I will do it expeditiously. Thank you very much. I need to connect to this woman more often. This was cool. It was a really good movie. I was really liking the fact when she kept slapping him. Pow! Come on! Now that I'm gonna hit you back. What you gonna do, Mitch? She was like, I was all rude and hit him again, right there. No, baby, watch. You're getting into no, watching it, girl. You're getting too cocky. No, just she had to. But I would have put him in vulnerable. She did. She put him in vulnerable. She already walked it out when she was in. Didn't you see her? She was going through and doing her footsteps with her eyes closed, in case the lights were out or anything like that. And she's planning out her things so she can go through knowing where all the furniture is at. He does, but he's never thought about it in a combat situation. She's combat trained by this guy, and so she's already going through her combat training on how she's going to work this guy and use him against the things in the house that will inflict a lot of pain and damage on him, that will mess him up and make him more vulnerable and easier to. Yeah, his adrenaline's growing and this and that, but his pride is down, and he's this, and his confidence is waning, and he's getting the shit kicked out of him, and when your adrenaline's growing, but it's also like when you're in a fight. Raging Bull for Robert De Niro, it's shocked you, and once you hit a concrete wall like that, I mean, you're like, whoa, you're mad and your endorphins and adrenaline's running, but it's like in a boxing match. You don't take a whole bunch of blows and then you're like, now I'm mad. Not most people are wired like that. Once somebody gets, and that's how she was, and I was like listening to that guy, and I was like, yeah, you don't stop attacking, you can't ease up. He's not going to ease up on you. He's going to try to kill you to raise his daughter into being someone like him. And what does the other girl tell her? You have a private, you have a right to protect. Yeah, and I didn't have that. My family took that away from me. They tried to make their own children into consumer planet destroyers that don't regard their life given to them by their planet. They weren't content with that. They had to do it with mine. I would sit there and tell them what they're doing is wrong, and they would sit there and call me a liar and tell me I'm not. You read the book of Revelation, it's all covered in there. Yeah. The ones that follow the devil and Satan are the ones clamoring for the destruction of all nature and the earth, and supporting these whore markets and the whole 9 yards. And he will be the one leading the charge to get rid of the market, restore old Hebrew values. And it's all covered. I already kept telling them the whole time. And now I should go read the book. I'm him, you're with them. It's all in the book of Revelation. You go read it. We're fulfilling the book. You're part of the devil word in Satan's head. I'm sorry, I can't change the book. It's in your book. You made me read the book. I didn't want to read it. You guys made me. I went and read it. I read the Quran. You didn't want to read it. You guys made me. Yeah, I told you where the things in there that were changed by the people that change it. I told you the coding in there where he tells you they'll do it. I told you, it's all in the books. It's in your books, man. Same when I read the Book of Mormon. It's in there. You can see in it's Doctrine and Covenants. Doctrine and Covenants. He writes the first few, and then after that, it's obviously a different author. It's different style, different patterns, different coding. You can see where they changed his writings. You can see where his writings weren't changed. You can see his writing style and his mathematical precision. Where it's changed, you can see that too. It's all in there. You read the Book of Mormon, you can see it. You put it on a computer program, he's right. This is a different author. This was changed from that does not mathematically add up. Bob and Haley and Ralph are right about Samuels and said, look, you do this, and then the same thing when you go back and watch the Tim Roth movie, it's like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense with the whole thing. And then for him to let this big, he would have immediately gone and killed this big mythical German Jewish strongman. No, this doesn't keep it. No, this story doesn't make any sense. This is a made-up Jewish folktale that they made up out of the Herschel Steinschneider thing. But it does keep in with Steinschneider's character to do this, to do that, and to try to get peace and get the Mandrake group and try to get them to be peaceful and all the things that we have documented. So yeah, it was Steinschneider that was going to throw the big German off the boat. Don't mess with my girl. Yeah, he had. That's why Steinschneider had to die. He was powerful and scary, and he was a Jew. That he thought that, then we could. Hitler was a Jew, but if they killed Steinschneider and the other things, people talked about the whole Jew thing on his paternal side. But Protocols of Zion, they were fulfilling the Protocols of Zion. It was one of their main documents and focal points of the whole Nazi movement was the Protocols of Zion. Same with Stalin. They used the Communist Manifesto and the Protocols of Zion. I am going to be the top herder of these, take away their religion and show them that I'm the proper leading Jew. That it's always been not so much the folktale. They've had the proof show it, but they don't have the Hitler. Don't go there, you'll get killed. He was the same with Aleister Crowley and all the rest of those guys. They have telekinesis to keep themselves from getting killed, but Hirschman had stuff to keep mass groups of people being massacred by psychopaths like Hitler and these people like Aleister Crowley that put banking things and stuff like that to subjugate the people. We're the anti-subjugation people. We're the freers of slaves. Abraham Lincoln's line is continued through a man called Barack Hussein Obama. They're related to him. He's related to them very closely on his mom's side. He's an emancipator. He's a freer of slaves. He's like Joshua. Abner. Go read the gospel. Abner's a really good guy, especially when you analyze it correctly. No, they were this and that and that. No, it's in there. Just in little blurbs that are in there. And you can tell they sit and talk. They're put on opposite sides, but David loves Jonathan, and they're put on opposite sides. Do you understand? It's the manipulators. It's really cool. God, she's cool. Okay, she's cool. Okay, she has a boyfriend. Stop. I have a dog and 3 cats, and some people here that keep me safe. I've got it all right. It's like my connection to griping about complete shit. Kevin Smith. You're not going to treat it like complete shit, semi-shit. Complete shit, I mean, they would have you still in the Tonetta Downey Detention Center getting ready to go to, that's complete shit. You're only treated like semi-shit. There's still a chance you might be the Messiah, and they don't want to completely treat you like shit. That would look really bad in the history books. It's already looking bad. You guys should start changing soon. Love you too. We're writing history, man. I've been telling you guys this for 3 years. They think they can circumvent omnipresence, omnipotence in history books and what happens to the message. So even in a computer program, they're still going to teach this stuff because it will find a way to get through different things. So if you get plugged into a computer program or whatever stuff, you're still going to remember it as the shithead that betrayed the Messiah. And that was no longer a shithead because he forgave you and hoped to turn you into a better person. Blessings and peace. I love you too.